So when he was like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna have a dance party in LA, and then I'm gonna go on tour in Canada, and then I'm flying into to New York to have another dance party," I'm like, "How are like this guy is crazy."
Yeah, I gotta
Yeah,
change from green to red. Ugh, my life is
I'm
so
dead.
hard. Well, on that note, let's speaking about people who are blessed and talented. We're here to talk about Clipse and their new album, Let God Sort 'Em Out, on this episode of I've Been Meaning to Listen to That. Click.
Remember that record that you bought me like 2 years ago? Well, I just remembered that it's sitting in the closet. So I called you up just to tell you I've been meaning to listen to that. I've been meaning to listen to that. Why don't you come over and talk about it? Ooh, ooh. Why don't you come over and talk about it?
I love the click. Never get rid of the click.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody messing with my click. Click.
Yeah.
Did Pusha have a verse on Click?
I think so. Yeah, yeah. No,
No, I don't think
it
so.
was a Big Sean.
I think it was Big Sean,
Jay
Jay,
Z, and
Ye.
yeah. Okay, never mind.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Um,
Push is on New God Flow, which is
Yeah.
like top
That's-
tier
that's
songs
like-
of all time.
that four run, that I think not the R. Kelly song, like the 3 song run of just like New God Flow, Mercy, and then what's it called?
Click?
The Click. Yeah, that's
All
like
Day?
unreal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that
Yeah,
also
yeah.
All Day?
That was not on that album. Like,
No, that
dang,
wasn't on
wow.
that. Yeah, yeah.
Anyways, we're not talking about him. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the show. Like,
I think we
well,
would be.
like Gestapo. But everybody, welcome to the show. Welcome to I've Been Meaning to Listen to That, the podcast where we go through albums we've been meaning to listen to and use as a conduit to learn about each other and our guests. I'm Andrew Ambrose Lee,
I'm Stanley Philippe.
And I'm John Butts.
and he's our returning favorite. He's the host of the YouTube channel Spatial. He's also doing a 365-day track review this year. I don't know how he does it, but he does it. He's a GOAT. He's one of our favorite guests. He's a friend of ours. Please welcome Ausar Stephens is back. Yeah.
Yeah. This is culturally inappropriate.
Yeah.
Oh, I really want to talk about that. I
Yeah.
really
What
wanna
are
talk
your
about
thoughts? Like,
I thought, okay, I watched an interview with Ebro, but
Yes.
me and Ebro actually had the same thought process. So
Hmm.
I knew I was a little bit onto something because he's a real big hip hop head. But when I listened to Chains and Whips for the first time in the car, amazing. Listening to the album for the first time in the car, peak. But when I listened to Chains and Whips for the first time, I was in the car and I had to I heard it and then I was like, is he talking about like Drake? Right? I'm like, is this like, and then Kendrick came on and I'm like, oh wait, run it back, run it back, run it back. And then I ran it back, and then I heard the culturally inappropriate thing again. And I was like, oh, is that a Drake dig? But anyway, Ebro said the same thing. But then when he told them Push and Mouse about it, they were like, oh, sometimes things just like happen that way. We actually came up with the tag, it's culturally inappropriate, just because like when we were making the album, we were just like, nah, this is so hard. This is culturally inappropriate. Like that's what they were saying. So they like put that tag in. But me and Ebro also thought the same thing. Like, I don't know. I think you lying. Like, I think like
Yeah.
some of that was, because he has that whole like lawsuit and they're like kind of muting him and things like that. So I know they can't say things publicly. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say about that. Because
No,
I wonder if you guys have any other takes on like where they put it, if that matters. But I couldn't personally find anything.
Well, like I guess like to talk about it just like a little bit. I feel like this is this another name for this album could be If the Shoe Fits. Like it's like who are they talking about? Like, is this about like whether it be Nocta's, Yeezys, or Travis Scott, like Cactus Jack's shoes? Like, if am I talking about you? If the shoe fits, if it applies to you, then it applies to you. Like, it's kind of one of those situations. But also, like, I think there's some truth in like press. Obviously, you're trying to like portray yourself honestly, but you kind of have to lie at the same time. You kind of like have to advertise a little bit too. But I don't know. Anyways, yeah, we're here.
I just mentioned my little brother had a take on this. He was like, and he's the biggest Clipse fan that I know. And he said that every time they were really pushing the drug talk, they would put in that drop like that. This is culturally inappropriate. Almost like to kind of say like, hey, we recognize that this isn't the best way of leading your life, but we're gonna be talking that shit that that Lady Gaga. So that those drops are almost like reminders of the subject matter. And I kind of like that take until I watched the same Ebro clip and they're like, no, 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 we were just saying that shit in the studio. And then the engineer's like, oh, well, this is a good idea. And there it goes. So
We're really springing into it, Andrew. We go walk it back.
No,
because
let's walk it. Okay, let's walk it back a little bit. Let's go
No,
back a little bit.
it's
But
all
I love
good.
that.
I'm
I
just
know how
like,
I get.
we're
I get
ready.
into the
I think
weeds.
we're ready for
We're
that.
also you make us we're very comfortable talking with you and everything. So we really that's such a blessing, to have someone who's just like gets it immediately. But let's run it back a little bit. Let's talk about our preconceived notions and history with Clipse. Mine is very limited. I have not listened to Hell Hath No Fury. I have not listened to the other one,
Lord willing.
Lord willing. I know grinding. Like I've hit my fists against tables before too, and like I know that. I saw the Lego Pharrell movie. Like I saw that. I thought that was great. But I mostly know Pusha from the good music kind of era of his life. I love his contributions. I thought his solo work. I thought Daytona was a masterpiece. I thought It's Almost Dry is very good. My Name is quite good too. And just like but I feel like he's a great like ingredients in someone else's like kind of soup. I felt like It's Almost Dry ran to the problem of like if it was just him most of the time, it kind of got a little stale. It got a little like kind of like okay, we kind of what's the freshest take of this same subject matter? I remember he said in an interview like someone asked him like will you ever stop rapping about coke and he's like never. I was and my initial like response was like really never, you're never gonna like outgrow this one part of your life ever. But I think this album kind of and this reunion and like makes it very clear that it's not about that anymore. It's not really promoting that lifestyle or like really. It's kind of like it's about rap. It's about hip hop. It's about moving with integrity and stuff like that. And I guess with this album, I was kind of like I knew they were gonna reunite. I knew they were setting that up with like the Jesus King feature and then the It's Almost Dry feature. I thought that was incredible. I thought those were incredible. But I was like, in like 2023, where we saw like the first two verses of Chains and Whips, I was like, this is pretty good, like pretty good. And like, I wondered if it was just going to be like a drop in the flash in the pan of just like, hey, they're back and like they're 50 now. And like, this rollout has been so incredible. It's like the anticipation and like the quality. The songs I didn't like, I love now. Like, it's just, I want to pass it to y'all, but like that's my general relationship with these two. Like I really don't have a lot, so I want to hear from the experts.
Well, I guess let me go out the way too then, because I'm like the same as you. Like I'm not that big of like I was never like a Clipse head or anything like that growing up, but I did really fuck with Pusha T heavy, like real heavy growing up. And I actually I got into Pusha T around the same time I got into like NERD when I was like just doing research for like Tyler the Creator, like this documentary I was working on like 2 years ago. And he was like always praising like Nerd, Pharrell, Chad, and like the Clipse. And he was always talking about them. And I kind of got into the Clipse a little bit, but I love Nerd so much that I was just like it just kind of took over and that's all I listened to. So there's an alternate timeline where like I probably listen to both or maybe only listen to the Clipse, but there's a timeline we're in. But I remember just being really impressed by the rollout. And yeah, just listening to the album, I was just like, I went in with like no expectations, but being very like hopeful for hip hop. Cause it's like, it's an album that's like very to like the fundamentals. And like, you don't see that a lot. And I just appreciated it. Like just decent storytelling, like cool bars, insane production, and like just like the back and forth. Like I was just like kind of like I jumped the Kool-Aid of it, you know what I mean? Like, and I just enjoyed the whole rollout and just like geeking out about the album.
I'll hop
Yeah, the
in
Clipse,
there.
man. Like,
Oh,
oh
go
yeah,
for
yeah, go
it.
ahead, John.
Okay, yeah,
You go, John. You go.
because mine is
So I
also
want to talk about mine again. So like I think like
honestly, I'm about to basically reiterate what Andrew said to some degree, but yeah, I mean, and I'm also pretty ready for all of the Clipse heads that tune in to just yell at the speakers because I think the few of us are coming in from a like peripheral perspective. Like I feel like I slept on the Clipse a little bit growing up, but I remember all of their like highlight singles. I remember beating on the desks in the lunchroom tables, grinding. For me, the thing that stands out in my memory the most was I had to have been in like middle school, but I remember hearing like "Cot Damn" on like somebody's like maybe on the radio, maybe on like a radio program where they were doing like a DJ set and they're just like, here's the new Clipse produced by Pharrell. And it's like, from my perspective, that was one of the best songs I had ever heard at the time. And then the radio did not play it enough. And then that was also kind of the time of like Napster and Kazaa and LimeWire. And whenever I went onto those sites, parody, I could not find a CD quality version of the song. So that was a really frustrating experience for me at the time. But I eventually found it. Back when it was like college era, I went back and downloaded Lord Willin' and Hell Hath No Fury parody. But still only kind of listened to it peripherally. They weren't my guys. I respected them. I respected Pharrell's stamp on their music because all of us are on this podcast are production heads, so we can't like have that not part of our gravitational pull. But then there was that era where Pusha T kind of got looped into the good music fold. So I think with them kind of sunsetting the Clipse and him stepping out as a solo artist, like that's where my awareness kind of stuck, and I was always at least checking for Pusha T a little bit. I think that was probably around like the My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy era when he kind of linked with him, and lots of highlight verses and songs from that era. But yeah, that's like kind of it for me. Like they've always been there. I've been checking them out, but it's been nice to revisit them. And sidebar, we have been listening, my family, been listening to that piece by piece track nonstop. My daughters love the lead single from that Pharrell Lego biopic. Yeah, literally every day. It's how we close down dinner and get them into the bed.
Oh, that's sick.
But that's my preconceived notions on Clipse.
That's fire, man. Your house is so cool. That's really good. I go to bed listening to like I don't know something cartoonish, but yeah, gosh, the Clipse. Like, how do we talk about the Clipse? They're just that rap group that um created luxury rap, and I think that's where the Neptunes made this group really really work and stand out apart from other amazing groups in the kind of 2000s, is that they had that luxurious uh texture to the sound. And I'm trying to think of a comparison to Coke, but like I've never done drugs, but like I can imagine that there's that Coke that's been kind of laced with other stuff and it isn't as pure. But with them, like it's that pure shit. And then the Neptunes had that packaging that made you want to consume it even more.
Mm-hmm.
And and I think this album made me realize how much Pusha um enjoys competition, because I think Pusha, I mean, obviously with all the Ye stuff that he did, the good music stuff, and his solo projects, like there was a level of hunger, but I really think that he was trying to compete with his brother. And when you look back at the old stuff, like Malice is malicious, like he is an assassin. He's like the quiet beast. But because Pusha is so big, when I saw them live in Ottawa like years ago, that those Pusha eyes, like they were a thing live in concert. But Malice was the one that was just like, oh shit, like this guy's got bars. And so to have that combination of pure justifiable arrogance and then some humble narcissism almost on the beat made this like the perfect duo to come back in 2025 and remind us that like rap is aging. Like rap is getting old, and it's like the fine wine of rap is really standing out, and it's really cool. And I think we have to, I mean, not that they're listening, but we have to give Chad Hugo a lot of credit. You know, it's sad that the Neptunes and ERD, like that's not gonna ever happen again. But Chad and Pharrell made the sound that the Clips were able to utilize to just dominate rap as a duo, and they're dominating again under now obviously only Pharrell. But yeah, love the Clips. Like they're that group. You know what happened to that boy? Like, you know, like God damn, like I mean, just the hits are so good. Anyways, yes to the Clips.
Wow. Yes to the Clips. Ringing endorsement. I guess like like yeah, let's talk about this album and this like rollout though. Like did you guys have any like kind of expectations for this before and while the rollout was happening that you'd want to talk about?
For me, it was the color show that did it that they had.
Mm.
Like, when I heard that, I was like, oh, I wasn't familiar with your game.
Mhm.
This is gonna be like some expert level rapping. So like when I heard that, I was like, okay, I'm definitely gonna listen to like this project like when it releases. And I know they did a whole bunch of others. Like they did, I'm pretty sure they did every piece of press that they
Yeah.
could
Yeah.
do. But
Also makes me question like their schedule and bandwidth. Like, how did y'all manage to sit down with literally everyone?
Mhm.
I was like, can I get an interview? Can I? Can I? Tell? Is it too late? Like, damn.
Yeah, and I think that delay helped a lot, right? Like, because this album was supposed to come out a year ago, and I think they were professional with this rollout. In that there used to be a time where this was hip hop rollouts, right? Like you have a project, it's done. You then would tell everyone, "Hey, this is coming out in 6 months to a year," and then you're going to talk to everyone about the project, and you're going to have your lead single, and then they're going to review it, and they say, "This is so good." Da, 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 da. And so they did the professional way, but I think they had that year of delaying where the project was done. Like it's pretty much like it's in the bag. And so having a year to actually have these conversations and then to be more strategic and of course the Pharrell influence. I mean, the Louis Vuitton of it all, like that's a really great way of understanding how to deliver, you know, a product ahead of time and also on time. So I thought it was impressive only in that it doesn't really happen in music anymore, because we kind of rushed through the process. These guys, they took their time and it showed.
And I
Yeah.
think that at least as I've kind of contextualized it a little bit, is this feels like a little bit of hip hop shock doctrine, if you will. Shock doctrine is the concept where, you know, after some sort of cataclysmic event, the moneyed powers come in and kind of rebuild on what probably was an impoverished or something area. But I think on the tail end of Kendrick's impressive run, he said, "This is what hip hop is supposed to be." And that it's not, to me, they're like laying the groundwork, right? If he cleared the brush, Kendrick cleared the brush, Clipse came in and they're setting like new foundations. Like Stinley said, this is the old model, but this is like what folks should be adhering to. It doesn't matter your genre, but if you do it to this level of precision, then like you're out of here. The sort of gravitational pull that we had on tuning into this album was solely due to how they did this rollout, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. That I like same feeling I got with like Chromacopia. Like a rollout is so important. And like back to like what you were saying too about like kind of clearing out the brush, and then you could say like the Clipse laying like a foundation. This is like a perfect melting pot. Like what did Jay-Z say? Like there's somebody eating a box of cereal, writing bars right now, about trying to take my place, something like that, right? Like I just like this is the perfect environment for like new hip hop, but like having like the torch passed down. You know what I mean? Not like there's anything wrong with like where like the sound of hip hop right now, but like I said, like the fundamentals is missing. I think somebody that like really loves like that traditional hip hop could really like take this and like run with it. And maybe they're already doing it. I'm just not privy to it yet. But like I hope that's the outcome of all of this. Like we can look back and be like, wow, that really just laid the foundation for them, and these people come up, you know. But you know, we'll see
We
because
can
they can't keep doing this forever. Like they're like, you know, they're 50, and then Kendrick Lamar, I'm just like, I don't know if he's like in like early 40s or anything, but like it needs to be a new generation of people. But I think the two, like, there you can still do traditional hip hop and it can work, and like they're showing this.
And I feel like we could also briefly compare it to what was a very anticipated rollout with Playboi Carti's music, right? Like he announced music like 2 years and like basically did all of the songs or a lot of the songs ahead of time, but then and we saw the videos, we were like, where is the album? Where is it? And to me, the sort of I don't know, there's something so rewarding about being a part of something and being able to oh, you see that interview. Oh, but guess what? There's this interview coming out. Oh, and the music video, and they're in Paris, and it's like shot so crazy. Like it creates that cultural moment where I think when you take that sort of, I don't know, ethereal or removed approach, you can say, I dropped. And like, boom, it's kind of like a flash in the pan. I think a lot of us moved past music maybe a couple of weeks after it dropped because it didn't have this sort of momentum that pushed it toward us. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I think that even if you are in a space like what Playboy Cardi does, there is a way to take from this release and apply it to what you do.
Yeah, and like not take shortcuts, do it with integrity. They did like a bunch of like like they did a few like white legacy media outlets. They did like NBC and like New York Times and such. But they also did legacy hip hop stuff like Joe Butt. What? No, no, no.
We're gonna do one.
They did Joe
Yeah,
Budden.
they did Joe
Ebro.
Budden.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
They did Joe Butt. But like they did. I wasn't that Ebro, and they did like Rob
Yeah, Big
Markman,
Boy.
Big Boy, all those guys.
Mm-hmm.
Like the guys, and then they did the most sensational they did was Joe Budden and Charlemagne. That was like kind of like they're the most like kind of shock jockey type of. And their show is like more conversational. There is a hip hop journalist quality to their work, but it's kind of like more of a podcast, more of just like hangout show, like breakfast radio show. But yeah, it's just like so they're about the bag. They're like so wealthy. Their FICO score is like so high. They're even and all that stuff is like so excellent, but they aren't doing it for like the bag. They're not like doing like TikTok dances. They're not like degrading themselves, degrading their work for like just like the potential of eyes or the potential like of the work itself is the spectacle. Like the work itself is there's no like antics, as like some of our former favorites, like how to do dealt with. There's none of that. And it's just like really really incredible. But
Yeah, it's professional, and I think the conversation piece is the big piece because a lot of time, and I want to compare it to Tyler, like Tyler is professional in how he is able to say like, all right, I have a vision for a project, I'm gonna roll it out, introduce it, allow people to get a sniff, and then like here it is, boom, and it's amazing most of the time. Whereas these guys were like, hey, like I want y'all to be part of this conversation, so I'm gonna go to New York Times so my fans who are, in their 50s and don't listen to, don't watch TikToks, just really read the New York Times, like, oh, cool, the Clipse is back. And then I'm gonna go and go to Joe Budden, who's the biggest streamer, in terms of hip hop, and have that conversation too. But the constant conversations made this so that we are fully invested. We're no longer guessing. Like, what makes this podcast so cool is that we have an ability to dissect and kind of say, all right, well, these are the lines. What do they mean? Like, what are they implying? Da-da-da-da. They kind of did it. Like they did the dissection for us by going
Yeah,
through all of these conversations and saying, like, no, actually, culturally inappropriate is this. And then you're like, oh
yeah,
shit. So I can't really
yeah.
hypothesize anymore because they already told us. But in some ways, it made it cool because then we could just sit back, have a coffee or a drink, have a cigarette or something harder, Uh, if you're into that type of thing, I do not condone it. It's culturally inappropriate, but whatever you want to do and just enjoy this thing. And it works so well for them. I don't know if they can do it again. Like I think this might be just like a one shot deal. Also, like you said, like they're 50, they can't be doing this forever. But in this moment, like Nas said, like right, like it's like, hey, like I made it cool for my generation of rappers to win Grammys because we didn't think that was gonna happen. Because so much of rap was being cool, and so much of being cool was being young and being idiotic and being reckless and being adventurous. And these guys are like, nah, like we are in our pocket. Malice is like, I've done the stuff that I had to do. I've found God. I can help you find those things, but the devil is still in me. You know, like it's just they just have that story that resonates with a lot of us.
Yeah. And it's like, and I think the theme of this album is like God's timing, you know, like God's timing of like the delay, you know, the bullshit they had to deal with, like the label, like blocking them and such like that, was actually a blessing um, because the Kendrick beef allowed for, like you were saying, John, like this fertile soil where they could grow and prioritize hip hop into this direction that is pure and better and has integrity and stuff like that. And then like Malice leaving hip hop and then coming back, like there was a time where Malice was like, I don't think it will ever happen again. I don't think we'll ever reunite ever again. And then this is the time. Like he had to do the work, and then this is the time. Ye had to fall. Pharrell's here. Like Pharrell had to become like Pharrell, their buddy from back then, has worked himself up to be the head of Louis Vuitton, and like, and there's this like childlike, even though it's like a grown man album, it's like there's this childlike joy to it. There's a joy of like being reunited with your brothers, being reunited with your literal and like creative brothers and such. And I think it's just yeah, I think it's a beautiful thing. So let's talk about
Like
themes
even
though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's God's plan, right? It's God's plan, is what you're saying.
to your what you were saying, Andrew, like when you're talking about like the childlike joy, like do you guys remember on a tiny desk when like Pusha T is just like damn near just giggling, like just laughing for joy, like uncontrollably. It was actually kind of scary. I wouldn't call it a giggle, but like stuff like that.
It
Like
is
it's good to
maniacal.
like see them just like happy to like express their art and creativity, and like that's like what it's about. Like you're supposed to be having fun, like and
Mm.
like I think that's such a perfect encapsulation of like everything you were saying.
And the
Yeah.
way like, you know, when they do interviews and such, and Pusha would just like go off on some guy, some like, you know, artist, and then like Malice, who's usually like mean mugging and looking all tough, he's like just like laughing so hard at just like his brother being himself. Like it's so sweet. It's like there's a lightness to Pusha that wasn't there before, like just like a joy. And like I think he was like kind of during the good music era, like kind of like had a protective like edge to him because he was like trying to, you know, like fight other people and such. But I don't know, like that. I think there's just like the joy of being knowing you're the best, and this is your moment right now. So
No,
let's.
you nailed it. You nailed it, Andrew, because you're right. Like in that good music era, like Pusha was almost like, I mean, he said it like the cold killer, right? He's like he was hired to be the guy that protects the squad. And I mean like lyrically provides this space where it's like, hey, no matter what happens, just throw Pusha on there and he can just like do his thing.
You are
Whereas
hiding a
now it's like
child. Just like,
yeah, I mean, yeah. Whereas now, and you're totally right about his brother being there. Like I have brothers, and when your brothers are there, like you almost feel like you're invincible now. You're just like, you know what? I'll give you the crazy laugh, and which you don't know
Yeah.
if it's just like joyful or there's something like demonic happening, but ultimately it sounds cool. And it's because his brother Malice is just kind of there, like, all right. I can clean it up if you mess up, or I can add to it if we're going to the right direction. So he's just free to just like rah, like just like slaughter whatever he wants to slaughter, and you're kind of seeing it. And I think for me, and we'll get into it, but like it's one of the things I don't necessarily love so much is that Pusha's being a bit like kind of Drake-ish in that he's doing a lot of subs, and I'm like, I don't know if I need you to do that, Push. You are the assassin. You don't have to put the bait everywhere. Like you can kill anyone if you really want to, but we can talk about it later.
yeah, let's talk about themes. Let's talk about this album. Let's talk about what you kind of took from it. I'll go like first real quickly. Is this idea of I guess like the biggest like kind of like more like theological one I want to bring forth is this idea of Malice saying in that one song, "Never turn the other cheek. You'll die at the Oscars." Like, I think this is, but even though he's saying that, I think this is very much a turning the other cheek album. This is very much because and this is I'm taking this from my pastor, like Jimmy Clifton is his name. He's a really great guy. He's like he delivered this great message about the Sermon on the Mount and like part of the passage where he kind of explained the cultural context of the time, where basically like if you slap someone, that's like a huge sign of disrespect, and like it's kind of like it's a culture of shame in biblical times. It's a culture of shame and dominance and such like that. So if you slap someone and you turn the other cheek, to backhand someone is like even more disgraceful and stuff. And to backhand someone and to be backhanded is like I don't know if I'm getting this 100% correct, but I hope the idea comes across of this idea of like it's not being a doormat. It's actually like just revealing, it's both offering the other person the opportunity to make the right decision. Like, you're really going to do this. Like, you're really going to like act on this evil. And then also you, it's kind of showcasing the other person's shame, like the aggressor's shame. Like the other idea, the other metaphor they used was the examples in the Bible was, if someone steals your shirt, which is like a real, like back in Bible times, you had a shirt and an overcoat, and like if someone took your shirts, you would give them your overcoat too, so that everyone would see you without clothes, and everyone watching you, everyone would know who took your overcoat. Everyone would know who took your overcoat. Someone did this to you. Someone enacted the shame upon you, the shameful action. And so, like, I think this album is a lot about not meeting evil with that same evil. It's about just like having evil enacted upon you, having like bullshit done to you, and then you're like, so be it, like let God sort him out. And also like killing him, but lyrically, not with like in a more kind of vile, sinister, cruel way. And which is like, and I think this album is kind of Pusha being pushed to be more angelic by Malice, and then Malice becoming like embracing that darker, more like sinister side while he has figured out his spiritual journey. He has already done it, the work. So he could put on the kayfabe mask and like just be the best rap artist. So that's one of my thoughts.
I was going to steer it a little, not frame it a little differently, but maybe a little more simplistically too. It's just basically about like how loyalty becomes the thing that is it's like your success. Because we've seen Pusha T go through this whole ups and downs of being affiliated with good music. We've seen Malice be loyal to himself in stepping away from music and knowing that he was not aligned with the world that hip hop and the music industry promoted, and emerging on the other side saying, I can continue to be loyal to myself, and I have my brother here who will always be here. But I didn't have to say yes to this project. I didn't have to say yes to rap again. There's something really beautiful about like hindsight being 2020, and their collaboration, kind of like what you were saying, Andrew, just like bringing these different sides out of each other, and that's due to the loyalty that they have for one another and to the craft itself, just like the joy of the pen. And yeah, that was one little piece that I wrote down.
I guess I'll say like my spiel.
Please.
I think the first song like really set the tone for the album, and like beyond obviously the grief, this is an album about perseverance and resilience. Um, and like on so many aspects, like, and this might only because I'm like in the middle of editing a video about it, but I'm like doing a video on Sorry Not Sorry, and like hearing what you guys just said it's like Sorry Not Sorry as a song by Tyler the Creator is kind of like what this whole album is in a way. Like he's like addressing these things and just being like, but like that's just who, like I'm accepting it, but like this is who I am, and actually this is like me being loyal to my creativity in Tyler's case has gotten to me this place, and it wasn't easy, but like this is where I am now because of it. So sorry, but not sorry. Like this is how I had to find my success, and I also see it like in them because they're kind of like, and you could correct me if I'm wrong, but like it's like bad guys with good hearts kind of thing going on. Like we can go there, but like like we're just like but we're brothers and we're just trying to rap and like do some drug bars and stuff like that. But like we can go there, and I think like Pusha really taunted that a bit. Like, and you can hear it in his tone when people are like, "Oh, why does Push sound like he's rapping somewhere in your house, but you can't find him?" You know what I mean? Like, so I don't know, just stuff like that. And then obviously like the balance between Push and like Miles just being like, like because Push will say something wild and Miles will like cite a Bible scripture and be like, if you practice this, then Push won't do it to you or something. You know what I mean? Like, that's the kind of thing I get. But like boiling it down, I think it's really about resilience. That's what I get from it.
Yeah, and I think it's, we've been talking a lot about separating the art from the artist, as a lot of our artists have had various issues, and then we're trying to figure out how we can keep that music or that art going. But this is merging the art with the artist, and I love how they started this, because they started not how we expected. Like we expected Chains and Whips to be the first track, not necessarily that specific song, but that ability to be both threatening and encouraging and resilient and also reckless. But they started with the artist, and they said, here's what we as artists, as humans, are going through. Our parents just died. We're going to share that experience. And that almost put everyone at ease, I think. And what I mean by that is not that people were feeling threatened, but when you're listening to that FICO, like there's no way to not feel a type of way. When you listen to The Birds Don't Sing, there's no way to not feel a type of way. And you feel that kind of way, and I think it's intentional. Maybe Pharrell has something to do with this too, but to be able to disarm a situation when you're more than willing to go there, like you just said, also like Pusha's more than willing to. He tells you like, "I will go." What did he say? Like, I forget the line on Chains and Whips, but just the way that he kind of says, "But I'm the elephant." Like that idea of
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
I'm that guy and I'm there. But to be able to kind of disarm the situation right away, it allows us to have a conversation, a real conversation. And then all the drug raps in the world don't remove the fact that we're having a real conversation. And so I think that merging of the art that we see and the artists that have lived a lot of life in 50 years makes this a very compelling listening experience. Yeah.
I also want to I mean, as the tag throughout the album, I think there's like this imprinted theme of culturally inappropriate. So I think I would love to hear what you all kind of take away from that. My first things were obviously the drug talk. I think just in general, when we think about living an honest life, the drug life is technically culturally inappropriate. I think this is also this sort of retrospective damnation of like the acceptance of filler music to some degree. Like we are giving you the cream of the crop, the pristine, the elevated experience over here, and what you're doing is culturally inappropriate. So I think there's a bit smite going on there. And yeah, and kind of like the divinity that we already talked about that Malice brings, and how that was the thing that took him away from the limelight. So saying that, like, from the hip hop perspective, what he did there is hip hop culturally inappropriate. He removed himself from this potential relevance. And at least there's an underbelly of that going on this album. It might not dominate, but I at least pulled that from this project for sure.
Yeah, the album's culturally inappropriate. Like it just is, like in like every single way. As much as I don't believe like what Push said to Ebro, I also think like there's like a lot of truth to just like not conforming to cultural norms like in hip hop right now, and just being like this is like what we came. It's almost like they're like trying to out rap like their younger selves or something like that. Like it's just like I don't know. Yeah, that's what I
No,
take
that's
from it.
exactly what it is. They're trying to out rap their younger selves because they don't believe that anybody else in hip hop can out rap them currently. So and that in itself is an inappropriate statement to tell everybody that's doing hip hop music today that you're not good enough to beat, younger me, let alone today me. Like it's that's a tough thing. And then they back it up. Like they actually back it up. I'm trying to think like who I would love to hear Jay do this.
He was
Mm.
supposed to be on here, man. He was supposed to be. That was one of the features that they were waiting on was Jay-Z, because you kept hearing Push in like
What was
certain interviews like, "Oh, when's the album? It's coming. I'm just waiting on one feature." And I think we all
Yeah.
thought that that was Kendrick, but it sounded like Kendrick was just like, "I'll do whatever you need me to do. Just give me a little second."
Yeah.
But I think it was Jay-Z, and Jay-Z did not make it on.
Hmm.
his last
Yeah,
album was 444, right?
Yeah,
yeah,
2017.
yeah.
Yeah.
And like 444, like Jay was really teaching us how to grow up, basically. Us as in hip hop culture, and to own up to whatever mistakes you made. I want to hear the Jay album where he's like, "Can I out rap Reasonable Doubt Me?" and then still touch on that experience, but then modernize it and expose to us what he thinks about life as I guess he's a 60-year-old now or close to it. But really the rapping part, I want him to be like, yo, I'm gonna tap in. Let me get Just Blaze. Let me get like the people that I love around me, and let's just like go in on some of this hip hop music and see if we can actually like destroy all the young guns. Like fuck a Tyler, fuck a Kendrick, fuck all these guys that think they're actually, the gods of this shit. No, let the real gods that are still alive pretend like they're still gods. Like I want to see the old Batman beat up some guys. You know what I mean? Like I want to see that shit. So Jay, if you're listening, pick up your fucking mic.
Let's
Stop
go.
running the NFL.
No
Maybe
one
do the
wants to
Super
work these
Bowl.
days,
We don't want a
just like,
casino in New Times Square.
Yeah, yeah, fuck a casino. I want to hear you rap about casino. You know what I mean? I want to hear that again. Come
Ooh,
back,
Stilly
Jay.
about to take your spot. Stilly about to take your spot.
Stizzy's
Yeah.
bad. Like,
Jay-Z, if you're listening, and we know that you are, come at us.
yeah.
Come at us. All four of us specifically.
Oh no, I didn't.
We waiting, ho.
I
We
didn't
waiting,
ask for
ho.
this at all.
And his
Yeah.
name is Andrew Ambrose Lee.
Oh no.
It's his find them.
I think we should end racism. Like just like I think we should put it on the end of every football field. We should put it back. But yeah, I think like just two more themes I thought of is like one is balance. There's just like a formula, like obviously the metaphor like balancing the scales, like the balance is what makes a great product. Like the way Mouse and Pusha, their voices are like very similar, but like you kind of like it's very fascinating to like put them side by side and like how their voices are different. Like who actually has the higher voice? Who's calmer but more like lethal and deadly and stuff like that. There's like kind of a balance in the album construction of like Pusha usually goes first. I think all the songs except the last one, like he goes first. He usually does the hooks all the time, and then like I think Pharrell offers this arty, pristine luxury quality to like the album. Like I think in Ace Trumpets they did an interview with like the three of them, like Pharrell, Pusha, and Malice, like did an interview together, and like Pusha was like, I want to make a dirty mixtape track. And then Pharrell was like, no, we got to sand the edges. We got to make it the Louis Vuitton of songs. And so it's like a combination of both like this arty kind of a geeky, like high end luxury thing and this like dirty, grimy Coke bars and such. And like the pure MC ness. And then like balancing the books in terms of just like, they're talking about like luxury, they're talking about all this stuff, but they're also talking about their credit score, like their EBITDA and such like that. So it's like they're not like in debt because they bought a Louis jacket they couldn't afford, essentially. Like they're not like stunting without having the funds to back it up. They have the funds to back it up, and like they're responsible grown men and such, while being
Get these
ignorant.
$1,500 to hosting out of here. Like they're past that.
Meanwhile, I bought like a sourdough bagel with my credit card. I was like, I think we're the same. But, like,
No, that is so bad. Like getting like flexed on by the song you're listening to. Like I was listening to Leon Thomas's album the other day, and I was just like driving. He was like, "I'm in a Lambo, you in a Honda," or something like that. I was like, "Why you gotta come at the niggas?"
Yeah. We're not screenwriters, we dream
Like,
writers.
you come at me
man.
for? What I do to you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you say fuck me for? But like I think like the and then like purity is like a big theme of this album. Like this, like I think they're kind of portraying the industry as full of demonic forces, like whether you believe in Jesus or not. Like I feel like that's pretty undeniable, like that there's like there are Diddy's out there who are, and like they're modern yays out there who are just like moved by demonic energy to like, you know, the evil and like greed and power and such like that. And like they're like they're simultaneously like giving like Walter White level product without like ruining your family or like destroying families or like associating with neo-Nazis and stuff like that. You know, there's like there's a purity there. Like there's a purity in the love of the creation and the execution and stuff like that. There's like removing yourself from demonic forces and evil people because they don't want to be pulled down to their level, basically, like having a separation between Kanye and stuff. You know, a big theme is also like gratitude, like just like they are smart, they are like, you know, but like that doesn't always prevent you from getting in trouble. Like that doesn't all like being smart, being talented, being gifted doesn't always prevent you from being, you know, maybe having the book thrown at you, maybe like dealing with like consequences that you didn't deserve or that you did deserve, but you know, it's still like a tragedy because of societal forces and such. So I think a lot. I think the gratitude of this album also creates this pure, like it's not just this one thing. There's levels, there's layers, and such.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because the drug game and the rap game are very identical. Are very similar. And so, you know, as they're dealing the product, they're seeing, you know, and at least in their old career, they saw a lot of the people they love end up being like dead or in jail. And so there was a real life consequence to it. And they managed to get out of it, you know, pretty clean because they're good at what they do, but also because they were very lucky. And then similarly in the music game, like, you know, as you referenced, like with the Ye stuff and whatnot, like, you know, they're so good at what they do musically that they're able to gravitate towards a Ye, a Pharrell, all of these a Jay, a Kendrick and be at their level, but at the same time know when it's time to like check that box and say, all right, like it's done, right? Like almost, it's almost dry. It drops when Ye is on version 2 of 3 of his like crash out, you know, but and yet Pusha is still like, yeah, let's do half the album, you know, because it's like at that time it's still good to have that product. And then 2025, it's like, oh, we recognize that it's no longer profitable to be associated with that mixture. And so we're going to then exit stage right and go back to our original, you know, chemist. And he's still cooking. So it worked out really well. But I do think that Pusha I think he, and I was telling my brother this, like I think he kind of dismissed his relationship with Ye a little bit too much, or downplayed it in that he's like, ah, yeah, you know, I always knew he was kind of like a clown, like a weirdo, and I didn't have a friendship. We were connected, but we didn't have a real friendship. I don't think that's true. I think that's bullshit because I don't know how you can do like over a decade of really amazing music and choose to do it over and over again if you sniff out how disturbing things have gone. I think obviously there's a breaking point for all of us when it comes to people that we love. But I do think there was genuine love there. I don't think it was just like a transactional experience. And so I kind of don't like that he like made it seem like it was transactional just because now the transaction is now null and void. I wish it was a bit more of like a, yeah, I loved him. He was my brother, and then he did some fucked up shit, and now I'm no longer riding with him. You know what I mean? Like I wish that accountability was there.
Yeah.
Kind of like the Seth Rogen and James Franco kind of relationship. At least, I mean, Seth kind of at least paints it a little bit more clearly than I feel like Pusha does. But
Exactly.
on the subject of, I don't know if it's purity or if it's the culture, rounding back to the culturally inappropriate. On the topic of Ye, when I hear that it's culturally inappropriate, that's almost a production sub at Ye to me, because
Yeah.
his production has kind of, done a little nosedive, and, sonically and from a cultural zeitgeisty perspective. And the way that this album is sounding, talking about that purity, that pristine package, woo wee, yay, you're culturally inappropriate.
Yo, can I just quickly say something? Like Oscar, like last time, or maybe the first time you were
Beyonce had
on,
the best video
you
of all
talked
time. Oh, sorry.
Shut up. It's true. Yeah, you talked about like the car test, like whether or not something passes like the car test. And yo, can I just tell you, when I listen to FICO in my car, I have to listen to it twice. Like I can't just play it once
Yeah.
because the car test is too pure on that track. I don't know if you want to get the tracks yet, but I just want to like, I was thinking about you a lot because I'm like, man, like I'm trying to not let this test, dominate me. But every time I hear the like that stuff, I'm like, yep, I'm playing this twice.
I get that same feeling with So Far Ahead. Like I love that
Woo!
from the gospel to like that hard hitting drum. Like it's so good. It's so good.
And like, I think there's something to be said. Like, Kendrick had that song, like, I think it's time to watch the party die, just like that whole thing. Like, where it's just like, okay, like the party's dead, no more Drake, we killed him, and now we're gonna talk about consciousness all the time. Oh, the diaspora, like, like, but we're not, it's not really that. It's about like, it's just like, again, salting the earth and like letting something new grow. And like these big cultural albums like from this side of things, of like GNX, Chromacopia, this, the Don't Tap the Glass, they all pass the car test. They all pass the put them at max volume, like blow out your speakers. Let's have some ignorant fun too. Like there's a little bit of like, this album is like a brick of like pristine, finely cut cocaine, and then like you flip it over and there's like a Bible verse like those In and Out cups, just like just like just like John
Yeah,
10:10. Oh, interesting. Just like
no, the verse is always, and Jesus said, "This is culturally inappropriate." But yes, let us pray.
yeah. Yeah. Well, let's go into songs, right? Yeah, let's go into some songs. Let's talk about some songs. Oscar, what is a song that's a highlight from this album for you?
Obviously, Birds Don't Sing is like, yeah, my absolute favorite. Like the storytelling on that, the way that they open the album, I think that's such a crazy way to open an album. I did an analysis on. This is like, I think I said something like this is the boldest way to open up a hip hop album like in history or something like that. And I'm definitely open to being challenged on that. Uh, so yeah, that's a great one for so many reasons, and I'm more than happy to talk about that. Also POV is one of my
That's my favorite.
tracks.
Yeah.
Especially because like the beat
No.
switch and
No,
Mala's
I
verse
too
at the
good. I'm
end.
just shaking my head like, oh, too good, too good.
Okay.
Yeah, Mala's verse at the end is probably one of my favorite verses on the album. Like, yeah, everything about that song is great. I love that Tyler's on it, and like he's a big Clipse head too. Like he's the reason why I even listened to him in the first place. And like to see him like live out his childhood dreams in a way and like get to do that, I think that's really cool. Yeah, I think it was actually a very No, I don't think this anymore. But when I first started listening to this project, I thought it was very like top heavy, like all the best tracks at the top, like the first five. But like the more I listen to it, the more I'm getting into just like the album as a whole and like how it kind of speaks, like a complete message. But yeah, those two tracks are probably like my highlights.
Which way do we go? Which way do we go?
Yeah, I think we should start with Birds Don't Sing because that's like the first track and like that sets the tone for the album. I think it's a great kayfabe letter downer. Like I don't know how to like kayfabe mask let downer. Kind of just like, hey, we're real people. This is the things we're going through. This is the grief we're experiencing. And then once we got that out of the way, I feel like the precision they have with this song of just like really hitting like it's like a silver bullet, just like one shot, you got it. You got the subject matter nailed down. Like it's just so excellently done. Like that you kind of don't need another song about it. Like you don't need us another song about it. Like it does its job basically. And the way like his parents did their job, you know, the way his parents like executed on their last days with precision and with like love and with you know like trying to tie up the loose ends in a way with grace and class. So I think this is yeah what do you guys think? I want to talk about it more, but what do you guys think?
Okay, so let's say about this song. So like I think it's really, really, really expert storytelling on Push's end with his verse because like he takes us through the journey of like talking to his mom and we only get it from his perspective. So like in a way, like there's like a twist ending in the song. Like we're like realizing the twist with him of like, oh, is that why like him like realizing like and like you said, like, oh, the precision of it, like you're there's a reason like why you were like stocking the fridge and like telling dad that you wanted to like you regret, you know, being with them and or not being with them rather. And like the implication that he makes of like their sister making the call for Malice to go check on her, for him to be the person to find her because like him being the like I guess more stronger spiritual person to deliver the news, and then him like actually talking about like I just think that's really powerful, and I think it just shows how strong they are as like a family unit, like even after that. But then like going into like Malice's verse two, it's like his storytelling was obviously a lot more straightforward, but it was also really impressive from just like a mental standpoint, like just like being the person to discover both of your parents past, like is insane. And like he tells a lot of stories. I don't want to say everything. I want to like give like the song room to like conversation. But yeah, I just love that track. I don't listen to it often because like it's kind of a hard listen, but it is like good in the times that I do listen to it. You know what I mean? Did I yap?
Yeah, no, I mean, I'll hop in. I have so many thoughts about this song specifically. I love what Stanley said earlier about how this disarms. The more I listen to this song, it just gets much more emotional for me. I think when I heard it the first time, I often have this resistance to artists where I feel like they're oversaturated. Like I heard John Legend, I'm like, okay, here we go. We got Selma. You know what I mean? But and I know that's like not the way to approach it, but like once I like step back from that and really let what's happening on this song impact me, it like gets deeper and deeper and deeper on each listen. Um for me, the production, like you got that like low like piano and then it just breaks out into this heavenly production that is honestly My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy level. It's just there's like that duality there. There's like the piano evokes like the time and like what you do in those moments in between where you're trying to solve the like death process, right? When you get that word, there's immediately a lot of like organization that has to happen. So all of those in between moments feel lingering and heavy, just like those low notes and like dun 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 dun. The time is ticking, whether that's the time before the death or the time in between, like the funeral or what have it. I think that's an incredible way to underscore this story. And I mean, shout out to Hamilton, who lives, who dies, who tells your story. You got your two sons who are arguably two of the best rappers ever to immortalize who you are on wax. I mean, that's huge. And then we also get like these little lines that just cut. Just like y'all said, that silver bullet. Pusha said, some experience death and feel numbness, but not me. I felt it all and couldn't function. From Pusha T, I'm not expecting that level of clarity emotionally from him. So when hearing him say that, that's why, oh, he's laying it all out on the table. And then there's obviously masterful verses, but then there's the throwaway from Malice, fishing trips. Damn, I had a dad, just like that. That's such a throwaway line, but he's clinging to that memory. He's clutching it, but also the way he expresses it is like there's some joy there. Like, I'm so thankful. I'm so honored to have been his son. Even you could kind of take away from the intent behind that bar. Yeah, it's so heavy. And there's also this thing that I love, and I'm gonna wrap it up because I'm yapping now. I like that we get Pusha's perspective on mom, and then Malice's perspective on dad. So there's already a doubling that happens in the absence of the other's perspective. So if you get any glimpse of the alternative later on, it like doubly punches you. And Malice says something later on. He's like, "Open the sunroof, wave at my father." It's like you weren't talking about your father earlier on Birds Don't Sing. So just getting that tidbit from you, it's like, oh, another silver bullet in the middle of this song. So I put this as a highlight. I don't think it was the one that I was going to pick for myself, but I extremely love the Birds Don't Sing.
Yeah, and I think just quickly, like the beauty for me of this song from a listener perspective is that they're both almost telling us who their parents are and then telling us who they are in rap music. You know, like Push put I mean their mom it appeared to be someone who is very kind of like thoughtful and aware, but also wanting to allow you to kind of discover. And Pusha, I think, is like that too with his bars. Like he's so good that he can spell things out completely, but at some points he'll let you kind of like figure it out, you know, kind of finish that sentence, and if you don't, then he will. Whereas their dad seemed to be the one that was really aware of his role as a father and playing it out to the fullest, and the responsibility that comes with it, and allowing the wisdom to shine through. And Malice is the wisdom. He's the wise one. He's the one that is telling you like, listen, I did some shit, but you don't have to do that stuff either. And you know, his dad says like, "Boy, you owe it to the world. Let your mess become your message." And I think Malice is doing that. He's saying, "My mess is now a message in hip hop that needs to be heard by the future generation, by the current generation, and by the old generation. The old heads are still stuck in a space where they feel like they have to be in order to validate their presence in either the craft or maybe in their lives, period." So it's really cool how they're able to blend their parents into them and then let us in on who they are, they being their parents and also they being the artist.
Yeah. Also just like I want to speak on the how the production kind of works on a metatextual level of like the piano starts super somber, like dun, dun, and then like it kind of there's a lift as as both of these brothers are processing this unspeakably sad, tragic thing that's also very beautiful at the same time. And it feels like Pharrell offering like a supportive shoulder to lean on also. And then the metatextual nature of like they're both Pusha and Mouse are both having individual experiences based on their own, but together it's just like this web of support and this like I think it's through this process that the lessons your parents taught you like become actualized. You know, the lessons it took them 50 years to actually get it. It took them 50 years to really I think they knew, I think they did. I think Pusha perhaps is being a little too hard on himself in these last moments. Like but um, but I think now they really get, and now they're together, and now they could conquer and like, but also spread the good word. Spread the message, and like Malice says in an interview, it works for me, but it's available to everyone. It applies to Jesus. It applies to the parents' teachings too, because the CD's like $9.99. You could just buy it. Yeah.
And then on the count of three, everybody unmute and let's all say one of the best bars on the entire album from this song.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Yellow
Mine made
diamonds
sure he
on
had
the teepee.
every base colored. So imagine his face finding bass in the cupboard. Insane.
Yeah, that
This
was
is
actually
culturally
insane.
inappropriate.
Ooh. That was actually another twist too, like because it's like, damn, they actually had like their life set up like to be. They didn't have to do that. Like they didn't have to like cocaine or anything. And I think like also like on a personal level for me, like this song kind of speaks to me, like Push's verse, like with him like just getting caught up, like he's just like in the midst of like just work, like he's just like flying all over the place, like, oh, I gotta go to Kanye's. He's not even going to Thanksgiving. I'm going to Turks and Caicos, like, yeah, like, you know what I mean? And like not like being so wrapped up in that he's not even like seeing like his mom tell him, like so like I don't know. It's like a reminder to me, like, dang, like work really isn't like it's not everything. Like family at the end of the day is like so important. You know what I mean? Like it's so important. And like the work that he did gave him an outlet to like make this song, in a way. But it's also like you should just. It could have been a different song. Like it could have been like, I'm glad I had my last like Thanksgiving or something, like, like just like last moments, or it just could have been a different way. And it's like a lot of people like our age, like just in the American pipeline of just like work is like such a major part of a lot of our lives. It's like such a reminder to just take a break and just enjoy what's temporary, because you never know. So that's that's like the main thing I got from that song, like just personally.
And also, let's just say, like, John Legend put his John Juicy into this song. It's just like his vocals are like,
Oh my God.
Look, it's all about balance. Like I'm offering balance in this conversation. But like I'm
getting all deep. I follow y'all.
No, I love it. I love you. I love you, Ausar. You're amazing. You're a good guy. But like I think that just like this is the most he sound like relevant and like soulful in such a long time. Like after the Chrissy Teigen pipeline, kind of like, I'm on The Voice. Look at me. Like look at me sing at the White House. Just like yeah.
That's exactly what I was getting at, Andrew. It's just like when someone's like put in front of you that much, you kind of have a immediate resistance sometimes. But he really like let this thing fly. This felt like Get Lifted, John Legend. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then like POV, let's talk about that. Like let's get into like the actual like meat of this album and the kind of the they put their wrestling mask back on in these next couple of songs. And yeah, any thoughts on Ausar, what are your thoughts on this song?
I just bars. The first time I heard it, I was like, I wasn't catching the beat when he was like POV kilos in my. I was like, I was not catching it, and I really wanted to because he said it so like confidently. And I'm like, is it me? And it was me. When I listened to it like the second time, I got it, and I had to like look at the words and like see what he was saying. But like I love like all the bars. Like everybody has just bars in the album. Like all I see is 60 Day Stars and 20-year thousandaires. Not enough shopping, a whole lot of browsing there's like Tyler getting on just like mad aggressive, which you don't see often. Like what do you say? Like, I'm a nice guy, but these bees get you stung. He has some bar to the I'm a flower boy, but them bees get you stung. Yeah, they bust for me. Something that puzzle me. And then Alice.
Because she would be, yo, yeah, literally. Leave meeting. Leave meeting.
Malice.
Oh, that's funny.
His man, like the whole like everything about what Malice said, it was just amazing to me. Starting rap with an OZ just to see niggas rap just to OD, and then he raps about like I'm the only one to make it out, only be free. Like so, like he like made it in and like got out right before like all that other shit happened. Like he could have easily started with OZ and then OD. You know what I mean? And yeah, I don't know. The whole rhymes structure of like Miles's John is so tough, and I'm always just like, I can't open up the door with the skeleton key. That just is so hard to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. Absolutely love it.
Because it's even that bar alone, that's ownership over your past. Like, I'll walk
Yeah.
you in this mother and show you everything. It's
Yeah. That's
I don't think it's
that's
that great. I don't think it's that great, y'all. I'm sorry. I think POV is, and I use the word worse.
Are you being
You're not doing a bit?
Oh, I thought you were doing
not
a
doing a bit.
Oh,
no
man.
bits. No bits. No,
Oh,
this
no.
really beat me. I don't think I think it's a good song. It's a good song. But it's just like with everything else that's on this album, I think it's one of the worst songs. The production isn't that great. The except for that Malice beat switch, love. The Tyler verse, I don't love it. I don't think it does anything like the Nas verse does. Like the Nas verse, it comes out of nowhere.
man.
Like you want to talk about Kool-Aid, like comes out like that Kool-Aid that came out of the bricks, like that bust through the bricks. That's Nas in that verse. Whereas this, like that's just Tyler being Tyler, like, and it didn't bring me anything other than the question of like, who's your mentor? Like I don't know who the mentor that he's referring to is, but I didn't love the song personally.
Wow.
I felt like Tyler had like kind of a mixture of like Clipse and Pharrell energy in this song. Like he was like he was tough, but he wasn't like saying like I really killed people, or I really push cokes or anything like that. Like I think that was like kind of that to me that works for that balance. And then Malice's verse, like again, it goes back to that balance of the softness of Pusha's hook, the softness and like gliding through a Pusha's hook, and then the aggression of Malice, and then the arty flower boy-ness of like Tyler's verse, I think is really balanced. And I like the balance of because the chains look like oppression to me in this song, and then in the prior song, beat the system with chains and whips. Like they're both, because that was my critique at first. It's just like this feels too much like an ad for LVMH. This feels like too much of an ad for like Cartards and like Cause and whatever. Like just like kind of these luxury brands that people can't afford. But like I think with that line, the spirituality is there, the awareness is there, and then like also like just because I'm spiritual doesn't mean I don't like luxury things. I don't like nice things. I don't enjoy my wealth and like my freedom and such. So I think it's great.
Yeah, this song is out of the stratosphere. Steadily, I respect you, but I don't agree with you on this one. Not
you're on a podcast performance plan. We're gonna put you on one of the
Okay, first of all, the beat switch I think has entered the canon of best beat switches of all time. I'm gonna go on the record as saying that. Like, I think we've heard a multitude of beat switches happen in the past 10 years, and a lot of them are getting tired, and this was one that I did not expect and really set Malice up. And the first time I heard this, I was like, this is motherfucking hip hop, baby. Like I got that feeling of those Good Friday releases from this, and like just that high expectation. And I'm pretty sure that there's like a triple entendre. If I had to weigh the operation, call it obese. I mix it like Mahomes, then I tell him go deep. We got the surface level, like quarterback bar, we got the drug bar, and we got the music bar. And that's just Malice. I'm just like,
okay, Cole Kushner. Like,
shout out.
Yo, shout out to the Dissect Pod. We out here. But no, I can't get over it. And we've evoked like the sinister nature of like their like Pusha T's and Malice's, like the way they show up to a track, like these assassins. This is really where I see Malice just like wiping the barrel of the silencer, where like in the first verse, Pusha did out in the open. He did his job out in the open, and still people were like, "Who did it?" He was like, "It was me." But Malice is wiping that silencer clean, but also standing over the body. I don't know. This it's insane. This song. I will kind of say that, and I've never been on a Tyler the Creator episode on this podcast. But I'm launching this take here. He's never been my cup of tea. Tyler the Creator has never been my cup of tea, and I'm sorry, also I know that's your guy.
I don't think he's have a way about it.
But I feel like being able to rap alongside them in like the center verse, he was out there. He was spitting. So shout out Tyler.
Yeah, I think he really held his own for sure. And like it was like coming from his Chromacopia era where it's just like very just vulnerable, it was cool to just see him like talk some shit, you know, for once, like after, you know, and he kind of does a little bit, but like Chromacopia is just a very you know, vulnerable album. So it was like a little bit of a shock value in that. But I also do agree, like it did, like Tyler's verse specifically left a little bit more to be desired for me. Like I just wanted just like a, you know, just like 10% more. But like you know, the verses that we did get, I think was dope. I think it was
Yeah, because Tyler raps like any fan who was like, man, I've been wanting to be on a Clipse track for so long, and I got my shot. So now I'm gonna rap on a Clipse track like I would if I was, you know, listening to the Clipse. So it's not Tyler. It's it's like if I got a chance to be on a Kid Cudi record, I'd be humming the shit out of it, and people be like, "Listen, you should get auto tune." But I just be like, "Okay, I'm with Cudi."
Arguably, could be on this.
You know, like
I need a good music remix to POV.
Yes. Well,
like I don't think he talked about eating pizza one time. That's like his whole thing. I don't think he talked about it once, so that's pretty rare.
Yeah.
If he would have done that, then maybe that's the bar we're missing. I don't know.
Yeah, we went song track 1. We did track 1. We did track 3, but we skipped track 2. We skipped Chains and Whips. You want to talk about the Clipse? You want to talk about real hip hop? You want to talk about a guest verse? What are we talking about, guys? Chains and Whips is the track. Pusha T. This is motherfucking Pusha T. Like this is Pusha T haunting, lurking, intimidating,
a voice in your house that you don't know where it is, you know.
No idea where that motherfucker is, but he's there. He's the elephant. Like Malice, my favorite bar of this whole album is "You're gasping for air now. It's beautiful." Like who says that? Who is the assassin that is about to blow your head off and is just in awe of the beauty of the moment where you are going to die? Like this is real hip hop. And then Kendrick, I mean, therapy showed me how to open up. It also showed me I don't give a fuck. Like this is why. And no, I'm not gonna say. Never mind. I'm not gonna say. I don't want to bring back the stupid beef. This is why Kendrick is a GOAT. This is why I recently put him in my top 5 MCs of all time, because he is able. You put him anywhere, any artist, any beat, any melody, anything, and Kendrick Lamar will still be Kendrick. But he is the best form of a chameleon, because he is hiding in plain sight. Like it's like, oh, I'm on a Clipse track. I know what to do here. And yet we all know that this is Kendrick Lamar. This is what a feature should sound like. This is why Chains and Whips is a track. Please, go on.
I also like how it's like kind of just in an amazing part of the album, but it's like people don't just like skip to that part only, you know, like I think it was partly intentional of like they leaked 90% of the verse, you know, so like, and the discourse cycle happened and now we can just enjoy it here, you know, but yeah.
And the production too is like, okay, we set the tone, you know, we got our prologue here with our first track, The Birds Don't Sing, and then that sort of doom doom bass line is like the rallying of the cavalry. And then instead of instead of horses, it's Porsches, and instead of over the hill, it's through the hills. Like we, we're amping up for the track. This or the album. This track is getting us more and more excited for what's to come, I think. And yeah, definitely highlight. My highlight. One of my highlights.
Just one more thing, just really quick. This is exactly when someone that you love is dying and they tell you, like, hey, when I pass, please continue living life. And the first track allows us and more importantly, them to mourn their parents. This is them living life. This is them doing what their parents would want them to do, which is to just annihilate all music. And that's why it's a perfectly placed track too.
Absolutely. Does anybody know how many times Kendrick said gin? Like he said the word.
Man.
Good question.
Like that rhyme scheme was insane. He said, I'm not the candidate to vibe with. I don't fuck with the kumbaya shit. All that talent must be God sent. I'll send your ass back to the cosmics. Like and then proceeded to say gin like 45 times. Like that I think
On tour. I'm pretty
tour.
sure he recorded this verse on tour.
That's crazy.
Oh, that's
Yeah, I don't even know like the timeline, but like that's definitely one because like what I really love about Kendrick is like he can make rapping sound like very like psychedelic in a way. It's like he can really just have you just like your head spinning, like there's like I'm on acid or something, you know. He just has like that way with words, and he does it so effortlessly that I just yeah, it's always just a joy to listen to his verses. But besides that, yeah, like I actually really agree with you. Like I think this like probably the best song to put on right after the first track, just because it's just like let's like okay, we get out the way, you know, like we said our gratitude, we said our blessings, and like that's all out in the open now. Let's get into it. And like this is like I think that's the first time they say this is culturally inappropriate too. Like now we can get into this was
Yes.
appropriate. Let's get into the culturally inappropriate shit now. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, yes.
I will close your heaven for the hell of it.
Yo, who says that, man?
Crazy.
Insane. It's so
Evil.
insane.
Diabolical.
I know where you're delicate. Like it's such a
Yes. I know where you're delicate. Oh, I love their pacing.
And it
Like
always
their
sounds like
pacing is so good.
doesn't it sound like Push is like, and I don't if it's Drake or not, whatever. But it just sounds like Push is like talking to like one person in specific all
Yes.
the time. Like
I think
who
it's
is this
Jim Jones
guy?
on this one. I think it's Jim Jones on this one.
But
Really?
like Andrew
Like the
said,
whole
it's
like
like
no
the shoe
stones in the
fits.
desert. I know by now you get the message. Like to this day, I'm like, who was he talking about? Like,
I'm watching your fame escape relevance. It's
Yeah.
so pointed.
and like you just hear like that smile in his voice, like as he's saying it, like he's just like so giddy about this stuff happening. Like this is crazy.
It's that Donald
So
Glover
good.
like stand-up bit where like his cousin crushed the s'more and like he's like he learns that he got someone pregnant, like the cousin got someone pregnant, and Donald Glover's like, good. I'm glad. I'm glad you're in a predicament.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. No empathy at all. Just great. Perfection.
My highlight, so be it. Like I really like. Obviously, we said like we're debating whether this album is like top heavy and stuff, but like it's really this first 5-track run is really something. Like it really is something. I find myself replaying this part so many times. Like I like to study this album. I'm like, all right, time to listen to the album. I get to like Ace trumpets, and then I'm like, I have to do something else. Like, all right, time to go back. Like I just find myself. But I think Pharrell is the star of So Be It. Pharrell is really the star here. Like I just think that weird sample, like that, it's so like the way they find the pocket in this unconventional beats and like the strings and like just it's the backwards drums, the strings, like that, the false starts, like it's just like it's I think of it more as like a song than like a like raps. You know, I think of it as just like the way it's kind of constructed. I think is musical and like I just find that feels backhanded, but you know, like you know what I mean though.
But like a difference between a track and like a record, just
Mhm.
like this is something that is
Yes.
on the pedestal amongst the others.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like when I know I forgot who said this, but when the Pharrell interview or their interview, when Pharrell's like, "No, we're not making like a mixtape. Like this has to be an album. Like this is a song that needs to be on a proper album, not a mixtape." And I think what's also cool about Pharrell's production and what works really well with the Clipse is that the Clipse they get a lot of space to kind of enunciate, to speak, to actually like breathe. And so that allows us as a listener to literally like kind of dissect all this stuff because they're saying like a lot of shit, but they're also saying it in a pace that allows you to kind of ride along with it. And for us, production does that too, right? Like it gives them the perfect pocket. It's like having like the right speed limit where you're not speeding too much, that you're out of control, but you're not going slow, that you're like never gonna get there. They get there and they're comfortable, they're not sweating, but they're saying a lot of really good shit. Like this is a beautiful song, like a really good song.
Yeah, the
And potent
schemes.
too. Like just even like the context matter of like what they're saying. It's not um like empty bars. None of it feels empty from the lyrics to the production. It feels like very like lush, which is always something I'm like looking for in my music. So yeah, I love this track. I love this track.
My only
Let's
little pushback is
yeah.
where's the Travis Scott video? If you're gonna like throw it out there, I
But
want the video.
he's turning the other cheek. He's not doing. He says he's not doing that. You know, he's like kind of I'm better than this. You know, like I'm better than you and Kanye and all those folks who would do some shit like that. You know, um,
Yeah, but this
but
is where
also
I find it to be
you're also like
cornball.
saying like
Yeah.
oh you know kind of like he's kind of doing that
Yeah,
too.
like nobody knew about this. So it's one thing if someone goes, "Hey Pusha, I hear you have a video of Travis Scott," and then Pusha goes, "Yes, but I'm turning the other cheek. I'm not doing it." He's the one who's just like, "I've got I can A&R it. Like I can do it. I can release this if I wanted to." Well, so be it. You know what I mean? For me, that's a bit cornball in this context of like we just had a battle where people said some shit and you thought, okay, well, where's the proof? And there was like no proof. And it kind of diminished a little bit of the quality of the raps. Whereas the initial kind of Drake battle where Pusha was like, you were high in the sun, and then there was a sun that we saw, obviously, that made it way more qualifying. This is kind of like, if I don't see this video, then what are you talking about?
But doesn't the "so be it" of it all qualify that choice in itself? It's just kind of like "so be it" is such a flippant approach. To be flippant with information doesn't feel off theme for the track. But maybe
Yes,
I'm trying to pull it back from you.
no, I agree with you if you're not the one that's offering the information to begin with. Like you're both the provider and the remover. So it's like if you're gonna provide me with something, then provide me with something. Don't tell me Travis Scott's a little bitch and I got video of proving it and then be like, so be it. Like, no, then don't say he's a little bitch. Don't say it at all. Just be like, yo, I know some stuff about people, but I'm not gonna reveal it because so be it. But he was a bit too direct with his knowledge and then not reveal the knowledge. I don't know. We don't have to stay on this. It
Yeah,
doesn't really matter. It was
You
just
know,
my little like,
they be suing these days, so you never know.
Yeah.
I'm a sue,
yeah,
but like
yeah.
You never
but
know.
but like there's a Better Call Saul episode where someone says something along the lines of there's proving and there's knowing. Like we know Travis Scott's a flip-flopping kind of substanceless kind of like whore as as Pusha says. You know, like we kind of like know, like we've seen it. We don't have to see a video to like know what we've all been thinking about, you know, him, you know, like and it doesn't take away from his music. His music's a lot of fun. I like Utopia and such, but it's like kind of like we know, like so we don't have to see a video. Like there's gonna be a stand
That's
war.
fair.
There's gonna be a stand war, but you know, he knows.
So
So
be it. Yeah, so
yeah.
be it. It's fine.
Um, any other like we can't stay here forever, but like any other um highlights, lowlights, stray observations you want to just like we've been on this
We
we could
love the
talk about this
album, I
for
think.
so long. Like
Yeah, I kind of alluded to it before, but like So Far Ahead is so
Yep.
great. I feel like I actually had a spiritual experience listening to that
Yeah.
album, to that song. Um, and like it getting cut short in the best way possible, like with the beat switch and like hearing like Pusha go in. It also sounds like a song that Kanye would have made on like one of his I forgot, it's like the Blue album, like the
Jesus is
God.
King. Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like something that would be on there too, which that's Pharrell on the vocals, correct?
Mhm.
Right?
Mhm.
It also sounds like vocals that Kanye would do. Um, so
Culturally
I don't know.
inappropriate.
It's culturally inappropriate, but yeah, I really that's probably like another one that I'm just like really into. I'm curious about what you guys think about that one.
I'm right there with you on that one, Ausar. I love this song. I look forward to it because, like we were saying, the front half is stacked, but then this one it slows it down. But they like the this is really music nerd, but the time signature is different from all the other tracks, and it becomes like this very hypnosis kind of listening experience. In that the way that they punctuate their like their emphasis on certain syllables. Like I've been quotes like all of that
Right.
is just such a great, I don't know, listening experience. Fundamentally just an incredible listening experience, but then like they are also barring out on this song too. Like I done been both Mason
Yeah.
Betha's like I
So
did the
good.
Coke and the Lexus. It's just so much confidence too in all of these. I pulled Ocean's 11. I know I'm saying all Malice because Malice is versus my favorite one on this one, but yeah, I just wanted to endorse also on that one. Love So Far Ahead.
Mm.
Yeah,
Uh,
just it sounds like the coolest version of heaven, you know, just like you got to heaven and just everyone there just knew how to bar out. This is what the song would sound like, you know, like just beautiful, graceful, and then it just hits. Like it hits, man. Like, and the reason why you're quoting Malice is because Malice is the guy on this album. Like the MVP is, with all due respect, I mean, Push is a close second, but like it's Malice that's like letting you know I can do anything you want to do on this, and I'll also preach in a way that I think Jesus King was kind of trying to do, like trying to preach and not like a you have to follow God, but more like, hey, I follow God
Yeah,
and
the
I
spirit.
feel a type of way about it. And there are moments where I'm not good at it, but ultimately it gives me a really great compass. And Malice is giving you that throughout all this album, especially on this track as well. Yeah.
Also love Pusha's um me just being me, respect the P&B. I probably never eat at Roscoe's. Like that to me, that was a huge loss in the hip hop world. It also kind of just speaks to the kind of community violence that can happen, and just I don't know. He didn't have to evoke P&B in this song at all, and I appreciate that observation.
mm, I guess like this is like kind of like an open discussion part is where do you think Pusha won it, which songs do you think Pusha won, which songs do you think Malice won, like the the song.
I think it's arguable on Chains and Whips, um, for sure.
Well, you guys already know. I said for POV, Miles got that.
For sure.
Um,
Yeah. So be it.
um,
I think it's a tie. Like I think Pharrell won that song, but like whatever. Like uh Pusha, I feel Pusha won Ace Trumpets because of Yellow
Yeah.
Diamonds look like PP. That's good.
Yeah.
I think
I
Mike Tyson blow to the face is a very contentious battle.
Yes. Yes.
Because they
Agreed.
both get those, and this is kind of a stray observation, but they both get those acapella moments to kind of just flex, which also feels very hip hop. Let's just bar out without the beat. But I think Mike
Yes.
Tyson blow to the face, also with his chorus on there, it's just like, ooh, might give the edge to Pusha T on that one.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah.
And
Like
that's it.
wow, wow. I,
that's something that
I
Push is really good at with like just like choruses or hooks. I think he really shined in that way. Because honestly, I'm looking at the track list, and I think Miles kind of like he kind of like murdered him on almost everything, but the chorus and like I think there's also something to that. Like even when I was saying like um yeah, I keep talking about POV, but like the hook that he does or the chorus or whatever, like that's just like really interesting to the ear, and like you don't like that whole like up and down like tonal that like POV in my am track, right? Um yeah, he's really good at that, and like just making songs like interesting. Like he's really good at, like sprinkling in a little bit of flavor that's just like, oh, like this song is really memorable because of that. Like, you know,
Like
that's
Salt
what the
Bae.
chorus is. Yeah.
I think like he kind of like the Salt Bay reference also kind of loses me. It kind of like that was
Yes.
500 years ago when
Yes,
Salt
a
Bay was a
hundred
thing.
percent.
Like,
Oh wait,
and
did I do that?
no,
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 he references Salt Bay on
in the
the
Grace of
project,
God
I
song,
think.
Oh, I
yeah.
thought you guys were talking about when I was doing this.
But
Oh, okay.
that was why I brought it up. Like,
Okay.
I-
Okay. Yeah.
yeah, but like I feel like that his pre pushes pre-chorus makes up for all of that. Like just like the little refrain before Pharrell jumps in with the I see kingdoms behind the wall. Like, you know, when before he does that
Mhm.
is so good. But just like that I feel like that last song kind of messes with the formula a little bit. It feels like adding, you know, replacing the peanut oil with like pea starch for with the Chick-fil-A fries and stuff like you kind of like messed up the formula a little bit. And
Mhm.
like I like that the idea of like putting push at the end and at the beginning, but I'm just like, oh, it's a little that Malice verse is so good, and then we hear him talk about Salt Bay, you know, and then the album's over. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I get that. I mean, I like that album Closer though. As a closer, I think it works extremely well. And in the line before the Salt Bay, like was I cooking death when I was baking? Like that's a very interesting kind of thought. But the Salt Bay reference just like nah. But I think we should just quickly FICO, can we just like praise God for FICO existing and promise that we'll all go into our cars at some point tonight and listen to it like 10 times because that shit knocks. Like I just don't know how else to say it. It just like slaps. Like how you guys describe POV, like this is FICO is that track that you're all talking about. I don't know why we talk so much about POV for because FICO, whoo-wee, that shit, that shit
I
is
don't
like
disagree with you. FICO was a hard hitter. FICO was a hard like
oh
when that's one of the tracks that when I'm playing, it's running back every single time. Like
yes.
I'll get halfway through one of the pushes like they not fucking with us. Like I'll like run it back. We didn't appreciate it hard enough. Like we gotta start over.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I didn't know because I'm from Canada, so I didn't know what FICO was. I'm like, oh, what's FICO? Then I'm like, oh, it's like a credit score thing. I
So
get
they
it.
judge
I
our
get it
worth
now.
down here.
Yeah, I'm like shit. All right, well, there you go. If we're judging their work off of this, then they've got a perfect credit score because damn,
Yeah, I
so
wrote
good.
down for FICO one of the best mixes on the whole album. You can play it at
Yes.
full volume and it doesn't even distort. Like,
Ooh.
because you know when you
Yes.
push it, it kind of gets a little fuzzy. Nah, clean all the way through. Just like Pharrell said, they sanded it down. On FICO, it
Love that
shows.
quote. Oh.
Yes. So good.
Any stray observations? Any lowlights at all? Like, you know, just like lowlights, stray observations?
The dream.
Oh, man.
Skip it, dabba, 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 I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. And then it just ends like all things considered. And then everyone's kind of like, all right, is he gone yet? Okay, cool. Mike Tyson.
That was kind of
Recession.
random. I don't
Robitussin. Like, you know, it's just it perfectly ties it because it's like not the loser. The guy that we don't really want on the album, like finally leaves. And then we can actually have some
Oh,
fun again. Like, I don't know why the
Dang.
dream is on this, to be honest. It doesn't do anything.
I don't know why he's on it either. And I think that I love The Dream. I don't know if anybody's
Yes.
dabbled in The Dream's catalog. Incredible singer, songwriter, producer. Um,
Yes.
But I feel like if you're gonna have the dream, then let him be the dream. He feels a little underutilized. I don't dislike his presence, just underutilized. I thought maybe he would have took the place of Pharrell's kind of vocals or something when I saw his name. Like, oh, we're gonna get a dream hook on this album, but we got a dream punctuation.
Yeah, but it wasn't punctual. Like it was more like a
Blatant.
dream, like I don't know, like a cross reference something or another. Like it just didn't make any sense because you're right. Like the dream is so good, an amazing writer, and this just like I don't know. For me, it puts the album down a notch, not just the song.
Hmm. I just think of that Rick and Morty quote, like, "Get me Pharrell, Randy Newman, Billy Corgan, and The Dream." No one responds. The Dream? He wrote Umbrella and Single Ladies? You people haven't heard about The Dream?
It's real.
Yeah,
People
man,
sleep on
shout out
the
to the
dream.
dream, man.
Yeah, shout
Shout out
out
to the dream.
ATL.
Yeah. He's ugly under
That's
that
not-
mask, though, you know.
Damn.
He looked like a normal guy. Like,
Ugh,
yeah.
the dream.
Yeah. Uh let's go through final thoughts and ratings, I guess. Like, unless anyone has anything else.
The DJ Clue tags on Inglorious Bastards.
Oh.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah.
Very hip hop.
Yes.
Hip hop all the way through.
Yeah.
Yeah, like let's go through final thoughts and ratings. The way this works is we'll rate this album out of 10 with a fun metric at the end. Who would like to go first?
I'll go first. This is man the Clipse. Thank you for coming back. Thank you for, like the OGs say, we're keeping real hip hop alive. Y'all did it. Hip hop is back. Hip hop ain't dead. But for real, this is really good music. Like fuck the tag of hip hop. It's just really good music. I don't think from a Pusha T perspective, I don't think it's his best work. Um, I think Daytona's better. But from a Clipse perspective, I think it's pretty top notch. I'm gonna give this 9.2 trips to Saturns because the Neptunes are no longer around. So P Saturn out of 10.
Ouch. I'll hop off. I'll springboard into mine. Yeah, don't have much to say. I said a lot, did a lot of yapping. This album's clean, top to bottom. Love it's barred out, multi-layered. Thank you, Clipse. To me, this is a new entry into like the great albums of say the decades. Like if you kind of wall off each albums for or best albums in decades, this is solidly in there for me. I'm gonna give this 9 snow blizzards in the trunk out of 10.
I love this. Yeah, I think it's a modern classic. I think it's a 10 out of 10, Dream Riders out of 10. It's a classic. It's a modern classic. It's perfect. I feel like it's a great conversation to have while also being incredibly listenable. It's just so listenable. It's so easy to listen to. Perhaps the first song's a little hard to listen to, like just randomly, but everything else it's just so listenable. All the beats are great, all the verses are great, the spirit of competition is alive, the spirit of hip-hop is alive. This is amazing fertile soil for more great music to grow out of. I like this direction a lot. I'm so thrilled by it. Ausar, I'm sorry for interrupting your beautiful point about like the mortality of our parents in our family by saying John Lejosi. Like, I'm sorry about that, but like,
I thought it was Seems Today that all we see violence in movies on TV.
but I think it's perfect. I think it's 10 out of 10, Dream Riders out of 10. Yeah.
I think I agree with all you guys. I think this is a
you.
classic album, and I would love to see how it's looked at in like 10 years. And I would love to see like the relationship between that and hip hop, like if it's pivotal or if it's some type of foray into something. I don't know why I get that feeling from it. Um, and I think it's just a needed piece of work, like just as an art form. Like I think it's a very much a gift. Um, so yeah, I'm
Hmm.
gonna go 9 chains and or whips out of 10.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so there's our episode on Clipse. Let God sort them out. And God certainly sorted out this episode because it was good. you know, like, you know, like
Amen. Amen.
by the grace of God. Oh! but like, um, but yeah, like that was great. Thank you, thank you so much, Ausar, for being such a great collaborator and friend of the show and friend of us. In we you know, you've offered us so many lovely words of support and of just like, giving us our flowers as like
Yeah,
a
I
podcast.
love
So,
you guys' show, man. I really do. Like you guys are like this is like the kind of conversations that I love. So it's good that it's just good to know that people just are out here just having them, and you guys are having them very regularly. So yeah, I'll always be a supporter of you guys' show, like whatever you guys do.
oh yeah, yeah, like yeah. Where can people find you? What are you up to these days? Like that people can check
You
out if
can
they like this
find
episode.
me on YouTube. I make documentaries there. At Real Spatial, or you can find me on TikTok. I'm having a daily show where I'm analyzing music every single day, different track every day, on a show called Track 365. So you can find me in those two places. That's where I'll be at for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, so like you can follow the show at IBMT on all platforms. Stenley at Snap a Sten, John at John Butts is here, me at Andrew Ambrose Lee, Dakota at down underscore with underscore fun. Check out um our our Lady Gaga episode is next. Mayhem with Stenley and Dakota and the great Fran Hoffner. It's an incredible episode. I'm very proud of it. Mal has talked about selling Lady Gaga at one point, so that's pretty cool. Like she's white. And yeah, I guess like check out our Patreon show. We cover movie musicals primarily, with like I think our Star is Born episode is out now, I believe. Like our there's another Lady Gaga thing. And yeah, Oscar, any final thoughts? Any things you want to do before we close?
Um, just keep on loving, keep on living.
Hell
Live it
yeah. Yuck. All right, thanks so much, everybody. Have a
Yeah.
good day. Click.